and the Democratic Congresswoman from California. Welcome back to the show, Cindy Kamlager-Dove. Welcome back, Congresswoman. Sorry to keep you waiting there on Capitol Hill. We appreciate it. Do you have any thoughts on that subject at all before we get into California that we just addressed? The president, politically, I think Geraldo is probably right that the subject of transgender athletes in female sports, I pointed out, it didn't rank high in lists of priorities for voters, but the president spent a lot of money on it. People around him spent a lot of money on ads, and now we have this executive order today. Republicans see it as a real advantage for them. How do you see it?
Well, always good to be with you, Connell. There are less than 10 trans athletes in the NCAA, so this is just throwing red meat in the water. The larger issue is, why is he signing executive orders all of the time rather than working with his Republican Congress to pass legislation through the traditional right way? I'm concerned that he is bypassing us and usurping the power of Congress. That's the larger question.
What about on the Newsom meeting today? Their dynamic is always, people always make a lot about it in the news. Governor Newsom, whether he has intentions to run for president or not, but they're obviously both big personalities. But on the subjects that they can work together, is that something that you think they can both do? I know the governor talks about it. The president even sometimes talks about it. Are you confident they can work together on the fire aid and other things?
I believe behind closed doors, they can put the politics aside and talk about what is really important, and that is getting unconditional aid to California so that we can rebuild. We have been devastated by these fires. It will crater the economy, not just for California, but for the United States. We are the largest donor state, so it is incumbent upon us to get this aid without any drama.
Well, get the aid. Whether the drama's there or not is another question, I suppose. This back and forth with the water that the president had been talking about and how it's delivered, are we beyond all of that? And you think we're talking about practical matters? And if so, what's most needed right now?
I mean, who knows? I'm still looking for that big water faucet, in the California sky. I don't know whose decision it was to release the water from these dams, but dams is right. The water flowed after the fires were contained. The water did not get to any farmers. We have a larger issue when it comes to conservation, given California, LA, is a desert community. But we have to have larger conversations with process, with decision-making that is shared by both California leadership, in consultation with the White House. All of these theatrics are not helpful to what really needs to happen.
All right, final thing, there's been a lot of protests over the last couple of days from Democrats or liberal groups in general, most of it directed at Elon Musk and Doge, some of it Project 2025 based, some of it in your state. In California, we've seen protesters throughout the day today, for example, in Sacramento. What would you say about, because I brought it up earlier, we hear complaints about unelected people, Elon Musk, and the other side talks about unelected bureaucrats when they talk about what they say is the deep state. So this idea that if you weren't elected like you were, should you have this much power?
Well, I have concerns about how quiet Republicans have been. We are in a constitutional crisis right now. We have an unvetted, unelected billionaire who now has the financial nuclear codes to every single American in this country. He now knows how much we are getting paid, you are getting paid, how much you are paying, about veterans benefits, medical benefits, Social Security payments. He also has financial information on all of his competitors. And I don't think anyone elected him to have that information. This is happening in the dark of night. It is happening without any paper trail, and we deserve, the American people, the American taxpayers deserve some transparency. I don't know why he won't show up for an oversight hearing. I don't know why he won't explain why he's trying to gain access to all of our financial information. Yep,
there was a push to subpoena him, but that was pushed back on by the Republican majority. Congresswoman Cindy Kamlager-Dove, thank you, Congresswoman, for joining us once again. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.